I'm hearing that Jerry Jones is infatuated with somebody. I wonder who that is. We'll talk about that. Plus, Deshaun Watson, more legal issues. Lord have mercy, it just doesn't stop. And KD is back, but James Harden's not. He's out. What does that mean for the Nets, Brooklyn Nets? More on that in a minute. First takes in the house. Let's get it.
We're playing with Kevin Durant, James Harden. We know what the outside world expects of us.
Oh my God, this is going to be such a problem.
Coming for the top, but who gon' say a word to stop us? No squad, don't fit no competition. Hold up, slept on our greatness long enough. Now we gon' run a straight up.
Our games and our skills, they speak for themselves.
The Durant done with a purpose.
It's going to be pretty tough for a team to stop us.
Who gon' stop us now?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to First Take. It's Wednesday. I'm very happy to be back here with you guys. I'm Charlie Arnold. We got Max Kellerman. We got Stephen A. Smith in the house. And Stephen A., hold on. I know you have something you want to get to before we talk about the Nets. So, floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to get to this. Yo, Max. Yesterday we were on our First Take. I want to start our First Take really. I'm torn because on one hand I want to apologize to the folks from ESPN.com, but I also am starving to get at the idiots on social media. I actually, people actually took me seriously when I was talking about how dudes at ESPN.com who came up for the top 25 under 25 list, they were taking me seriously when I was talking about people needing to be tested, which is something I say all the time. I can't count how many times I've said that to you, Max. I can't count how many times I've said that to other analysts who've come on the show when I've disagreed with somebody. People have got at me with my A-list and other things. It's all part of television. It's what makes television fun. And I was just having a good time. And then lo and behold, all over social media yesterday and in some other places, people were literally looking at it. And then you're talking about Bobby Marks and others who've put together the list and basically saying Stephen A. disassociates himself from folks and doesn't want anything to do with them. Stop. I was joking around. I was having a good time. That's all I was doing. I certainly didn't mean to cast any aspersions on them. The guys over there do an exceptional job. I know them. I've seen their work. I read their work all the time. A lot of times we use the subject matter that they write about to create topics for ESPN on First Take and various other shows. So, of course, we have profound respect for them and what they bring to the table. And for the record, let me say to the audience, I haven't spoken to any ESPN executives or anybody about this kind of stuff. They know better than coming at me with something this trivial. I just felt the need to address it because obviously I've seen stuff on social media. I took the liberty of speaking with Adrian Wojnarowski last day, who does a lot of work and knows a lot of these guys. Obviously, he's the ultimate insider. I appreciated his perspective. I respect the hell out of him and what he brings to the table. So I just wanted to take a moment to make sure to apologize to those guys at ESPN.com and to also make sure everybody understands I'm playing around. Do I like the list? Hell no. I meant what I said about the list. I disagree with them. But everything else I was saying was just fun. They could have come on First Take and debated it with me. Hell, they still can. They are more than welcome to do so. It would make good television. It would be a lot of fun. That's what we is. That's what we are. ESPN, the entertainment and sports programming network. Sometimes people outside forget that. So I just want to make sure to remind everybody, and I apologize for any inconvenience that I may have caused to those folks at ESPN.com, because I certainly didn't mean it that way. That's what I wanted to say.
Social media. It's such a lovely place, isn't it?
I mean, can I just say something, Charlie?
Yeah.
I get it if colleagues are like maybe taking something the wrong way. Absolutely do what you have to do. You shouldn't. I mean, are you actually sitting here having to explain to people on social media that when you say some colleagues should be tested, that you don't mean it literally? Is that where we are?
Or disassociating myself from my colleagues who I have profound respect for, who do great work for us. Clearly, I was joking. I was just saying I disagree with the list. But evidently, people took it the wrong way. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands what I come from. And I want to emphasize, no boss came up to me, asked me to apologize. They know better than that. You got to come to me. You come to me with that stuff, you better come correct. That is not the issue here. I'm just going to be sensitive to those who have found themselves in precarious situations because of my words when I was clearly joking around. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, you're an entertainer. That's what you do, all right? You play some games. But speaking of playing games, guys, it seems like there's some games being played right across the river in Brooklyn with the big three, because we can never seem to get them all on the court at the same time, and that is the case again tonight. So there is some good news. Kevin Durant is likely to return in tonight's home contest against the Pelicans after missing the past 23 games. There's bad news, though. James Harden, he's going to miss at least 10 days with a hamstring strain. So let's talk about two of the big three in Brooklyn. Max, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is more critical to their success? Is it Harden or is it Durant?
The answer is James Harden. And I want to be very clear about this. KD is the best player on the Nets. Kyrie is the most skillful player on the Nets. The most important player on the Nets is James Harden, because he conducts the whole orchestra. He is the conductor. And if James Harden by himself can beat some of the best teams in the Western Conference, at least in the regular season, this dude this year is showing a level of basketball genius. You know genius when you see it, right? LeBron James, when we were kids, Stephen A., Magic and Bird, the way they see the court. But let me tell you something. Almost no one in the history of basketball, I'm trying to think of anyone, who's combined James Harden's scoring prowess, shooting ability, not just scoring the ball, but from anywhere, with his level of court vision. And on this team, leadership. Larry Bird, but Bird won the point guard. Bird's not going to take the ball up every time. Right now, Jokic, again, he's a point center. Some backcourt player who's been able to do it like James Harden. You look at LeBron James. LeBron doesn't shoot like James Harden. I'm not saying he's better than all those guys. I'm saying he combines it all in a package maybe we've never seen before. And on this Nets team, let me tell you something. Kyrie and KD, I wasn't picking them to win the championship. I wasn't picking them to get out of the Eastern Conference. Not the way Philadelphia looked, the way Embiid's been playing, not the way the Bucks, with the additions they've made have looked recently. I wasn't picking them to get out of the East. But when you added James Harden, they were unstoppable with just Harden and Kyrie. Now you're going to add KD. Harden's the guy who makes this whole thing go. He's their most important player.
Max Kellerman, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Now, look at me, Max. Look at me and put me on that split screen and turn off these highlights for a second, because I want Max to look at me. You understand what I'm saying? Oh. Max Kellerman,
I should be tested.
You should be tested. You should be tested, Max. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that, Max?
Social media ready
you okay
for it?
with that? You should be tested. Max. Okay, you should be tested, okay?
I'm going to tweet it.
I'm
Wait
just
a minute.
saying.
I'm tweeting it. Stephen A. said here we
you
go.
should be tested.
Go ahead. I'm just going to send out a
Max
tweet.
Kellerman. All right, that's just the way it is. Here's the deal, y'all. Max Kellerman. Let me tell you something. I would remind you that Kevin Durant missed the entire 2019-2020 NBA season. Not just the season that was halted, but the season that resumed that summer in the bubble, last summer in the bubble, and ultimately causing this season to start in December. That Kevin Durant that was out damn near 18 months because of an Achilles tear came back, Max Kellerman, and in the 19 games that he played, and the 18 games that he started, because one game he didn't start because they were telling him he couldn't play because contact tracing and all of this other stuff. Then he played, and then they pulled him from the damn game. That game, even with that included, Kevin Durant is averaging 29 points on 52% shooting and 43.4% from three-point range. And by the way, I might add 87% from the free throw line. This dude is lethal. He's a marksman. He's a sniper extraordinaire. And I'm telling you something right now. With a healthy Kevin Durant, a rookie coach that's never coached a day in his life on any level, in Steve Nash,